Welcome back to the Men's Roller Derby World Cup here in Barcelona. I'm Brom.
I'm Sui. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you may be.
Yeah, thank you to everyone that's joining us around the world, whatever time of day it may be. And in advance, thank you to hopefully our helpful producer, Very Cherry, who joins us this evening as well. So let's take a look at the rosters of who we're going to have as Scotland take on Colombia. First up,
we have in white, we have Power of Scotland, we have 04, Andy Morris. Number 10, Optimus Grime. Number 101, Chris Matheson. Number 12, Nick Gig. Number 1664, Cronenboig. Number 17, Benno. Number 187, Veggie Cray. Number 237, Chris Tuff. Number 316, Skate Pliskin. Number 44, Simon McKenzie. Number 5, Stephen Gibb. Number 54, Darth Evader. Number 55, Holly Smith. Number 9, Jamie Hutchison. And number 91, Hugs and Kisses.
And for Colombia, we have on the track this evening 019 Azazel, 08 Victor Hyde, 082 Kaliman, 0946 Milu, 1013 El Majestic, the captain, number 13 Rock and Roller, 2482 Zet, 29 Tote, 30 Anthony, 33 Zuluaga, 603 Hochsta, 61 Nadia, 77 Hulkman, number 9 Bushin, and 97 Hache, and that is Colombia. Excellent. And these teams have never met before.
They haven't.
Well,
so
it is Colombia's
first World Cup, so who knows what is going to happen.
So we just an interesting fact before this game begins.
I like facts.
Looking across the brackets of everything that's been played so far at the Men's Roller Derby World Cup, Scotland really need to win this game by about 144 points to be in a race to get the second place in their bracket. That's on the presumption that everyone who is the top seed in each of the 6 brackets will go through to the quarterfinals. That's how it's playing out at the moment. And then all of the number 2 second place finishers in their groups, 2 of those overall, based on the biggest points differential, will then go through to the quarterfinals as well. Scotland are in with a chance of being part of the quarterfinals.
So there is a lot to play for today. So they are all on track, ready to go. This could be a very interesting game. So it's obviously these teams have not met before, so we are not quite sure what we're going to expect here.
And earlier on, Colombia played Australia 254-42 for Colombia. And when Scotland played Italy, they won 183 points to Italy's 74.
So watching Australia play before, that's a pretty good score.
It's fantastic. I've really enjoyed watching Australia play as well. So stepping up to the line for the first jam, 30 minutes non-stop, the clock won't stop, no official reviews, 5 penalties, 2 foul out, and team timeouts 1 apiece.
So Skate Pliston on the jam line for Scotland, squeezes through the outside line, grabs lead.
Kaliman having a bit of a harder job, caught in the pack.
Skate Pliston hitting that front wall hard.
And there has been a star pass by Colombia to 08 Victor Hyde.
Meanwhile, Skate Pliston picking up 5 points.
My apologies, that's El Majestic, the captain, that had received the star, who gets out on initial.
Skate Pliston, meanwhile, with an apex stunt, just takes a tumble, calls the jam. Is met by one of his teammates. We have 8 points for Scotland. So good start for them. We have Optimus Grime on the jam line next up for Scotland.
Optimus Grime, otherwise known as Man Triangle.
Yeah, he's very triangle.
He's. I heard his shoulders hit someone earlier before I saw it.
Was he just walking around?
That was that was in the Italy game, and there he is.
Yep.
Optimus Prime gets through on the outside lane just before turn 1. Zulaga, caught out in the pack, being recycled by Scotland, manages to find a gap.
Optimus Prime just finding a little gap on the outside, but is met by a pretty formidable 3-wall there. Just jumps round, takes a little bit of a tumble, is met by one of the last stand defense blockers, but gets through for 5 points.
So Zulaga yet to get through on the initial pass. Optimus Prime taken to the inside after turn 2.
Not what you see very often.
There is a little bit of debris on the track. There we go, it's cleared off.
Optimus Prime just shrugging off that hit there. Picks up another 5 points. Just hitting those Colombian blockers out of his way, picks up another 5 points. So 3 scoring passes so far in this jam for Optimus Prime.
Oh my word. Optimus Prime just lifted him off the floor.
He just like a piece of paper.
So Zulaga stashing the star, gets through on the initial as Optimus comes in for his 4th scoring pass.
Just hit to the inside and the jam is called. So 20-point jam there for Optimus Prime.
And that was number 9, Hutchinson, picking up a cut track penalty just towards the end of the jam. So pack advantage will go to Colombia as we go into the 3rd jam.
Number 12 for Scotland, that is Gig.
Going up against Hache, number 97. And a very vocal, I think predominantly Scotland crowd here. I mean, Scotland are never quiet when they come to a tournament. Hache really fighting hard to get through the Scotland 3-wall.
Yep, Gig is lead. Beautiful work from Scotland, just trying to recycle the jammer right back. He is through.
Great offense from Colombia. They absolutely jumped to the aid of
yeah, which is absolutely what you want as a jammer, just to try and get yourself to get through. We have 4 points for Scotland.
Yeah, and I think that was largely due to the offense that Colombia gave as well. They forced Scotland to call that off.
Yeah, definitely hit and quit. So just call the jam, start again. Mackenzie up to jam next for Scotland.
And that's Hulkman, number 77 for Colombia.
We do have a blocker in the box for Scotland, so Colombia will have another pack advantage. Oh no, we don't. We have one apiece in the box. I apologise.
And Mackenzie finding that space on the inside line, gets no pass, no penalty.
Yeah, no pass, no penalty. Good call there from the jam ref.
So that lead still for the taking.
Recycle right to the back of the pack there, just has to make a little bit of progress again.
And that's lead given to Colombia thanks to that no pass, no penalty that Mackenzie picked up.
Yeah, so first time Colombia have had lead in this game so far. Mackenzie, however, is on a scoring pass.
Colombia in full control of this jam.
Yeah.
Decide to call it off. They choose not to pick up any points themselves.
I wasn't sure if Colombia knew that they had lead for a moment then, because they were just keeping on fighting through, but they realised and called it to just make sure that that point differential wasn't any greater than it already is.
It's nice to see an empty cheese balls bearings penalty box as well.
Now you've said it.
I've cursed it, I'm sure. But everyone's on the track.
Skate Pliskin on the jam line for Scotland, hiding behind the Colombia jammer.
And that is Zuluaga for Colombia.
Skate Pliskin just forcing his way through, getting lead right at corner 1.
Zuluaga being recycled all the way back by Scotland.
Yeah, very stretched out pack there. Skate Pliskin just getting through backwards, picking up 5 points.
But look how quickly Colombia run back to give some quick offense, and then reform to try and stop Scotland. In this case, working, slowing down Skate Pliskin.
Hitting that 3-wall, just squeezes around the outside leg, just about stayed in bounds on his toe stocks, picks up under the 5 points.
So we have a style stash at the moment by Zuluaga, currently holding helmet cover in hand. Has passed that successfully now, forward to the pivot.
Oh, Skate Pliskin takes a big spill there on the outside line.
Hochstar with the helmet cover for Colombia.
Skate Pliskin recycled back.
Zuluaga proving a double threat as comes in to provide some offense, try and create the space to slow Scotland down.
Meanwhile, Scotland are racking up these points in this jam. Colombia doing all they can to try and stop that progress, that 4-wall at the front, but Skate Pliskin just pushing through. Picks up 5 more points. We have a power jam situation for Scotland. That jam is called, so we will be starting with the Colombia jammer in the box for pretty much the whole 30 seconds.
And that was a cut track penalty picked up by Hochstar at the quite near the end of the jam. So Optimus Grime with no opposing jammer signals to his team, just hold fire.
Yeah.
I think Optimus might be telling them actually not to provide some offense off the line.
I'll be right.
Look, here they come. Surrounding the Colombia wall. They've got Rock and Roller holding him back, providing the space for Optimus to work his magic and pick up leads.
So very quick lead once again there for Scotland. We are losing one of the Colombia blockers to the box. Just trying to speed up back.
And
oh, beautiful work there from 1013. El Majestic, who is probably about half the size of Optimus Grime.
And Hochstar now back on track, joins the back of the pack, comes up against the last line of defence, actually gets that initial pass quite quickly once he got back on track.
It's like looking at the size of the Colombian blockers compared to Optimus Grime, they are giving him some hard work, but he's just managed to sneak back through for 5 more points.
The pack looking relatively static at the moment, picked up some speed a second ago. Optimus attempts that apex jump on the inside of turn 1, gets taken out.
And he is on his way to the box. Colombia now in a power jam situation. We have a star pass.
Optimus now back on track, picks up 5 on another apex jump.
Both jammers back on track. Optimus Grime just pushing through, manages to skip round the inside. And a massive hit there on that. Oh.
I visibly shuddered as Optimus's shoulder sunk into Milu's chest.
Yeah, I kind of felt a bit sick then. He's going to feel that.
So everyone's back on track. Great opportunity to tell you that Roller Derby Elite is a proud sponsor of Worldwide Roller Derby and platinum sponsor of Team USA. Check them out. That's Roller Derby Elite.
Gig on the jam line for Scotland.
Arzel. Gig picking up lead. as he speeds around the track, coming in for a scoring pass. A star pass takes place in Columbia camp.
Gig meeting that wall at the back, takes a little spill straight back up again. Just shrugs off that wall of 3 right around the outside. Picks up 5 points.
And Hulkman now with the star for Columbia. Gets taken to the inside between 3 and 4. Recycled back.
Gig did really well to stay on his feet there, staying in bounds. Tough with some beautiful offense, but is just hit out to the outside by Bushin.
Both jammers struggling.
You read my mind. Yeah, some really, really good wall work and recycling from both teams in this game.
Tough comes in on the offense to try and help Gig out, but Bushin manages to take him to the outside. Scotland might be scoring in this jam, but they're struggling on the second scoring pass. Gig having a real hard time. Columbia have found that form.
Definitely. They're really working hard. Like that wall at the front, they're just trying to push his way through, but they are recycling, getting him back, just trying to hit him off track, but he just about stays in.
Gig almost completing a full lap between his first and second scoring pass.
Yeah.
Just trying to get through. An incredibly tough wall formed by Columbia, equally tough by Scotland.
We do have points on the board for Columbia, so it's 95 plays 3.
And we're nearly halfway through the game. Just under 17 minutes remaining.
Mackenzie on the track for Scotland. His first jam of this game, I believe. Featured quite heavily in the last game that Scotland played earlier today. Bit of a jammer tussle. We do have lead for Mackenzie.
Calliman caught in that pack between 1 and 2, finds some space, gets through, but picks up a cut track penalty, so a power jam for Scotland.
So Mackenzie with the advantage here picks up 5 points. We also have a 4-3 blocker advantage for Scotland.
Just as Scotland hit the century mark on that last scoring pass.
Mackenzie with that failed apex jump recycles back. There is a cut call being signalled from the outside.
Calliman now standing in the box. A few seconds until you'll see him back on track. Mackenzie taking quite a few hits from Columbia. Finds that space, gets through, picks up another 5 as Calliman enters the track.
We do have another penalty for Columbia. That was a cut track.
So Calliman, less than 10 seconds on the track and goes straight back to the Cheese Balls Bearings penalty box.
You can only have 5 penalties in these 30-minute games, so 2 penalties in 1 jam could be quite significant if they are on this jam rotation.
Mackenzie being recycled nearly half a track back by Columbia. So Scotland 109, Columbia, 113, Columbia on 3. Like we said earlier, ideally Scotland needs to be looking to win this by about 144 points to be in with a chance to go through to the quarterfinals. We've still got more games to play, but looking at how the groupings are starting to play out.
Yeah, to be safe, they want to get, obviously, the biggest differential that they can.
Absolutely.
Depending on what the other game results are going to be, which obviously are on the other track, and we still have a fair few games to play for the rest of the day.
So Skate Plissken, the only jammer on track at the moment, and picks up lead for Scotland. Calliman now re-enters. He picks up no pass, no penalty. So it's open for Colombia to take.
Yeah, I think he thought he got through legally, but then there was one person went off track, so no pass, no penalty. Lead is still open. Skate Pliskin is picking up points.
And we've seen a star pass.
Yeah, so it will be a full 2-minute jam. Neither of these jammers will have lead.
And we have that's Hache with the star fighting on turn 4. Finds some space like a jack in the box.
That was beautiful.
But picks up a forearms penalty. So we'll go to the box. The third jammer penalty in a row for Colombia.
Skate Pliskin will want to capitalise on this. 2-minute jam.
The Scotland fans respond incredibly positively to that scoring pass. The full 5 added to Scotland's score.
Skate Pliskin just shrugging off those blockers. Is hit to the outside, will recycle back. Colombia have definitely upped their game. I think they've kind of figured out how Scotland are playing in the last few minutes, so they're kind of knowing what the jammers are going to do and how to kind of try and deal with.
Provide some counter
Yeah,
attack.
definitely.
Hache gets the initial pass that he's been looking for. Comes in on a scoring pass, but Skate Pliskin calls it off, and 1 point picked up by Colombia.
1 point, so we have 1-3-2, plays 4. 12 minutes to go.
So don't forget, you can interact with all of us on the announcer crew using hashtag MRDWC 2018. Also, after the last game of the day, after Argentina take on Denmark, the announcers will be bringing you the official review, a look back at the highlights of the first day of the Men's Roller Derby World Cup in Barcelona, so make sure you stay tuned.
Optimus Grime taking a little spill, just using those shoulders, those formidable shoulders to burst his way through the pack. Picks up lead jammer.
I've been on the receiving end of an Optimus Grime hit once or twice.
It's,
and painful.
You remember it forever.
Mm-hmm. He comes through on the scoring pass.
5 points for Optimus Grime.
Clockwise block has been issued to Colombia's blocker 2482. Zet.
Optimus Grime sneaks around, picks up another 5 points.
Some real pace on the pack as they come into turn 4, racing through to turn 1. It looks like it's Scotland controlling the speed from the back.
Oh, massive hit there, jammer on jammer. Optimus Grime just taking the Colombia jammer to the floor. Picks up 5 more points. Very, very effective jamming here from Optimus Grime today.
Zuluaga looking like he might be running out of a tiny bit of steam. I can't really blame him, if I'm honest. Scotland are providing formidable defence.
Yeah, 5 more points for Optimus Grime. He is the highest scoring jammer in this game for Scotland.
After this jam,
tried a very sneaky move there, right on the inside line, but just got hit out, so decided to call that jam. 23 points though in that jam.
Yeah, so that, I mean, that jam, if the points differential doesn't change, means that Scotland have the lead that they're kind of looking for based on what we've seen in the grouping so far, to be in with a chance of that second place in the bracket.
So if they can keep this up and keep this differential,
I mean, they should just be, I mean, of course, they're looking to get as much as they can, but they've kind of hit that entry-level barrier to finish second in the bracket.
They're reaching that point. We do still have 9 minutes left. Colombia, even with just only having 6 points, they are playing incredibly well against this team. They're getting a lot more fluid, like they're working together a lot harder.
So do you ever find that your skates don't quite fit right? Don't let foot and heel slippage mess with your game. Check out Bruised skate straps. They wrap around your boot and plate to keep your feet in place so you can improve your agility. Be better with Bruised skate straps. BruisedSN.com. You can hear the echoes of Scotland coming through.
Yeah, there's lots of flags waving. There are Colombian flags waving as well.
So we're going to see Gig going head-to-head with 019 Arzazel.
Gig picking up lead yet again. We have a couple of penalties being whistled, a multiplayer block, I believe, to one of the Scotland blockers. That is tough. That is tough.
A very stretched out pack across your screen.
Yeah.
Colombia slowing Gig down, not stopping him.
Trying to find a little gap on the outside, but just recycles back just to make sure that that cut is not assessed. Pushing through, oh!
And Gig falls to the floor, and look how quickly Colombia reformed around him.
Very smart work there from Colombia. Gig now out the back of the pack. Gets that call from the bench to call the jam.
I have to say, I really enjoy watching how quickly Colombia are switching from offense to defense, and how quickly they reform around down skaters as well. It'd be great to see one of those if we can bring it up at some point before the end of the game.
Can we have a replay on the Colombia replay?
So we've got Mackenzie and Majestic.
Little tussle there just on the start of the jam. Mackenzie juking around, trying to find a little gap on the inside line. Is called lead. Just managed to get through, but recycled back.
Majestic finding space in the Scotland wall, but Scotland reforming around him. Nearly picks up lead. Picks up a cut track penalty.
Yep. So we have a power jam for Mackenzie. See if they can increase this points gap. Beautiful little skip on the inside and chased by one of the Colombia blockers, but they have to let him go. Anthony at the back being goated by a three-wall of Scotland. Mackenzie with some beautiful footwork, just pushing through.
And look at that, Kaliman, Tote working together to try and stop Mackenzie in his footsteps as El Majestic returns to the track. Scotland ready.
Mackenzie takes a tumble. Majestic just dancing around that wall, just trying to find somewhere to go.
Look how Majestic trying to dig his shoulders into the sides of Scotland and just having no luck.
Mackenzie picks up 4 points.
And we just saw the attempted star pass from Majestic. Scotland knocking him back.
Mackenzie making more progress, a 5-point pass.
And right in the last second, Colombia successfully star pass to Kaliman, but it's just too late.
Just over 4 minutes left in this game. Skate Pliskin on the jam line.
So Sucker Punch Skate Shop is the largest Derby-owned and operated store in Europe, operating an online and having a physical store, heavily involved in the European Derby community on a number of levels, known for their fantastic service. Check them out, Sucker Punch Skate Shop.
We have Hauster on the jam line, which is the first time that he has jammed for Columbia. Skate Pliskin with a very quick lead jam again.
But out incredibly quickly, Hochar gets the initial and actually holds Scotland to only 2 points. So Scotland coming towards the end of this game with that kind of points differential is going to put them in really good stead to go into the top 8. Based on obviously other games. Once all of the games have played out today, we'll look at the rankings as they currently stand, who's in the top, who's in all of those second positions. So that's in the official review tonight after the Argentina-Denmark game.
Which is going to be a good game. Optimus Grime on the jam line is your lead jammer.
Azarzel caught in the wall, passes the star to number 77, Hulkman. Hulkman gets that initial quite quickly.
Yeah.
Pack picks up pace, forcing Hulkman and Optimus Grime to have to do about another half a lap.
Optimus Grime just finding a gap on the outside. I don't know how he managed to stay in bounds then.
He didn't fancy coming into contact with any of the blockers on his way around the outside edge. And Hulkman picks up a cut track penalty and goes to the Cheese Balls Bearings penalty box, meaning that it is a power jam for Optimus Grime.
We do have we have a Scotland block in the box. Veggie Crate was sitting in the box. Optimus Grime, meanwhile, just forcing his way through. Another just bulldozing those blockers out of his way at the front, picks up 5 points. Rock
and Roller getting stuck behind Scotland's wall, now rejoins to form a full Columbia wall. Look how Optimus just destroys it. It's not humanly possible.
And we have a power jam. Cut track for Columbia.
Hulkman leaves the box, returns, cuts, and back to the Cheese Balls Bearings penalty box.
Columbia recycling Optimus Grime back. He finds his way around, just toe stops round that outside line, calls the jam. So over 200 points now for Scotland. 29-point jam then for Optimus Grime.
So make sure that you're following all the MRDA and Men's Roller Derby World Cup social media channels, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook and Snapchat. We have an amazing army of volunteers that are not only being incredible to facilitate the entire event with our hosts, Spain, but also are looking after all social media and just making things run smoothly. A massive thank you to all of the Team Yellow Shirt.
Skate Pliskin, lead jammer for Scotland.
Hulkman is now standing in the Cheese Balls penalty box.
Skate Pliskin just jumps through, picks up those 5 points.
Hulkman returns to track. Scotland at the ready. Turn to an incredibly dense pack.
Skate Pliskin just hit to the inside, recycles back.
And it looks like Hulkman is going to pick up his third cut track penalty in a row across the last 2 jams. So Scotland will finish with a power jam. They've broken in the last jam the double century mark.
Just burst through. Oh, we have a back block being assessed to Skate Pliskin, so we will have a jammer switcheroo in these final seconds of this last, potentially this last jam.
So the last minute of the jam will play out as the period clock has already expired. The end of the game fast approaching.
Hulkman trying to find a little gap on the inside, but is recycled.
This is going to be an incredible finish for Team Scotland. Colombia should be incredibly pleased with their performance.
We have final penalty for Skate Pliskin. We are off for a cut.
So Skate Pliskin returning to the track, getting a cut and going straight to the box. Jammer switcheroo. Caliman now the jammer for Colombia.
Being recycled right back. Big hit there, but just trying to force his way through in these final seconds. And that is the final whistle. Scotland is going to be very happy with that score. Unofficial score, we'll just wait for it to be clarified and updated.
But what we definitely can say is that puts Scotland in a really good position to get that second place in their group.
Depending on the games that haven't yet been played.
So in that group is Australia, Colombia, Scotland and Italy, the yellow group for those of you following it online. And that's because Australia were the third seed going into it, based on the 2016 rankings. So that now is the final score. Scotland 224, Colombia fought hard for those 6 points.
They did, they really fought hard.
And I think they should be incredibly proud with what they brought to the track today. So thank you so much for joining us here on the M14 Industries track at the Men's Roller Derby World Cup 2018 in Barcelona. A big thank you to Very Cherry, our producer. I've been Brom.
I've been Sui.
And see you soon.